People often say words are the most powerful weapon. They don't leave visible scars, yet they can wound deeper than any blade. Words can lift us higher than we ever imagined, or break us in ways we can repair. When spoken with wisdom and kindness, they can open doors to success. But when spoken carelessly, they can destroy relationships, reputations, and peace. Yet, there exists something far more powerful than words: silence. True silence doesn't mean emptiness. It means presence, awareness, and peace. It's the space where clarity is born and where the heart finally begins to listen. This is the story of how silence transformed a restless soul and revealed the quiet strength hidden within. Once upon a time, in a kingdom of great wealth and beauty, there lived a young prince who seemed to have everything: luxury, fame, power, and endless pleasure. Yet behind all his riches, he felt an ache he couldn't name. His mind was always loud. His heart was always restless. No matter what he achieved, peace was something he could never grasp. One morning, tired of living in noise and confusion, the prince set out on a journey. He had heard tales of a wise monk who lived deep within a silent forest, a man said to possess the secret of inner peace. The prince decided to seek him out. After days of travel, he arrived at a small monastery surrounded by tall, whispering trees. The air was calm, filled only with the sounds of nature: birds singing, leaves rustling, and the soft hum of the wind. There, sitting beneath a great banyan tree, was the monk, serene, smiling, and radiating peace. The prince bowed deeply and said, "Master, I have everything a man could desire: wealth, fame, comfort. But I have no peace of mind. My thoughts never stop. I feel trapped within my own head. Please, help me find the calm I long for." The monk studied the prince's face and replied gently, "The peace you seek does not exist in the world around you. It lives within you. But to find it, you must first learn to listen." The prince frowned. "Listen? To what?" "To the silence," the monk said simply. "Stay here for 21 days. Speak as little as possible. Do not seek distractions. Observe, reflect, simply be." Desperate for relief, the prince agreed, though he wasn't sure how silence could solve his problems. The first day was unbearable. The silence felt heavy, almost suffocating. His mind screamed for attention. Thoughts of his palace, his servants, his duties, and his fears flooded in all at once. He wanted to talk, to shout, to do anything that would drown out the noise within. But he remembered the monk's words and held his tongue. By the third day, something began to shift. Without constant chatter, he started to notice things he had never seen before: the way sunlight filtered through the trees, the gentle rhythm of the wind, the melody of birds. For the first time, he wasn't lost in his thoughts. He was present. By the 10th day, his heart felt lighter. The endless tide of thoughts slowed. He could hear the silence, not as emptiness, but as music. The rustling of leaves, the distant call of a river, the rhythm of his own breath, all became one. On the 15th day, peace began to bloom inside him. Meditation no longer felt like a struggle. It became natural. The prince realized that silence was not something to be endured. It was something to be embraced. When the 21st day arrived, the monk found the prince sitting quietly beneath a tree, calm and radiant. The monk smiled. "Tell me, my prince, what have you learned from these days of silence?" The prince bowed deeply and said, "Master, I have discovered that my restlessness was not caused by the world around me, but by the noise within me. I spent my life wasting energy on endless talking, gossiping, complaining, judging, and worrying about things that didn't matter. My words were like waves crashing without purpose, scattering my focus and peace. But in silence, I found clarity. When I stopped speaking, my mind grew still. I began to see the truth I had been running from. I no longer felt empty. I felt free. The monk nodded, eyes shining with approval. You have understood what many never do. Most people are restless not because of their circumstances, but because they fill their lives with noise. They speak too often, think too loudly, and rarely listen, to others, to life, or to themselves. Silence, he continued, is not absence. It is presence. It gives space for the heart to breathe and the mind to see clearly. It reconnects us with who we truly are. Peace is not found in wealth or fame. It grows quietly within those who know how to be still. The prince closed his eyes, letting the monk's words sink deep into his soul. For the first time, he understood. Silence wasn't emptiness. It was understanding. It wasn't weakness. It was strength. Years passed. The prince returned to his kingdom, but he was no longer the same man. He ruled with calmness and compassion. He spoke little, but when he did, his words carried weight. People listened, not out of fear, but out of respect. His silence gave his speech meaning, and his peace inspired everyone around him. He realized that silence was the key to mastering not only his mind, but also his life. It gave him patience, wisdom, and inner strength. The noise that once controlled him was gone. In its place was stillness, steady, grounded, and unshakable. The lesson is timeless. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It is the presence of peace. It helps us hear our own thoughts, understand our emotions, and see life as it truly is. In a world overflowing with noise, opinions, and distractions, silence is the rarest and most powerful gift we can give ourselves. When we embrace silence, we rediscover the wisdom that has always been within us. Like the prince, we realize that peace isn't something we chase. It's something we uncover. So, take time each day to step away from the noise. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and listen. Not to the world, but to your heart. In that sacred stillness, you'll find clarity, strength, and calm. Because when we learn to listen to silence, we unlock the wisdom within.